I'm Brandon Mitchell,
I'm Veronika Barinova, and we're the creators of the Search for Gluscap.
and this is True North Country Comic Podcast.
Welcome to the True North Country Comics Podcast, dedicated to celebrate Canadian comic book and graphic novel creators and supporters. I'm John Swinimer. On this episode, I chat with Brandon Mitchell and Veronika Barinova about the graphic novel The Search for Gluscap, published by HighWater Press. Brandon Mitchell is Mi'kmaq, originally from Quebec but now residing in the unceded territory of Fredericton, New Brunswick. He holds a diploma in animation design from the New Brunswick Community College of Miramichi, as well as a master's degree in education from the University of New Brunswick. With over 2 decades of expertise in graphic novels, gaming, and animation, Brandon is a seasoned multidisciplinary artist. Veronika Barinova is an emerging illustrator currently living in Calgary, Alberta. She has a Bachelor in Visual Communication Design from the Alberta University of the Arts and works primarily in digital media. Born in Moscow, Russia, Veronika is inspired by the 90s, occult fiction, and Slavic folktales. Her work focuses on creating engaging characters and immersive worlds for readers, and her stories often have mystical or supernatural themes with a comedic undertone. Previously, Veronika illustrated Giju's Gift. Her latest illustrative work can be found in the newest graphic novel, The Search for Gluscap, written by Brandon Mitchell. The story of The Search for Gluscap goes like this. Mally and Pug are on an urgent mission to save the Serpent Guardian before all the salmon disappear from the river. Guardian of the river, a giant serpent, has been poisoned. The human lumber mills long ago have eaten up the forest and choked the river with logs, poisoning the water. Now the serpent attacks anything and everything, unable to tell friend from foe. The only one who can help is Gluscap, the protector of all living things. But Gluscap has been missing for a long, long time. Can Mally and Pug find him before it's too late? Will the serpent stay sick forever? Will the salmon ever return? So, without further ado, here's my chat with Brandon Mitchell and Veronika Barinova about the graphic novel The Search for Gluscap, published by HighWater Press. So, Brandon Mitchell and Veronika Barinova, thank you very much for taking time to chat with me.
Oh,
Thanks
thanks
for
for having
having
us.
us.
I appreciate your time. Before we get going to all the questions, I would like to know, what are you reading today, and ask Brandon to go first.
Yeah, so what I'll say is I'm reading a lot of things, but the book I'm reading right now is Artemis. It's great. And then the comics I'm heavy into Transformers right now and absolute Batman.
Wow, good stuff there. How about you, Veronika? What are you reading today?
I've been really into Holly Black recently. I'm reading The Darkest Part of the Forest right now.
Okay, so 2 ends of the spectrum there, that's for sure. Good stuff. Well, we're here talking about your latest graphic novel, The Search for Gluscap. So, Brandon, I wonder if you could explain a little bit about the story. What can readers expect with this book?
It's the continuing story of Molly and Boog. They're on a brand new adventure, and they are, well, for lack of a better word, they're on the search for Gluscap. But there's a lot of things I want the youth or the readers to get out of this. It's how important stories are and how stories change over time. And the other thing I want to try, and hopefully this gets across, like there's 2 messages. One is about the importance of our environment. And then the other thing is to talk about displacement.
Ah, okay. Is it fair to ask you about the spelling of Gluscap, how it's different in your book than the Mi'kmaq legend?
So the other part here is not the importance of dialect, but it is kind of the importance of dialect. So this is how we spell it in Listuguj in our territory.
Ah, okay, because I was in New Brunswick not too long ago with my family and saw the big statue there at the center, and we were just amazed that it was created there, and very striking, let's say.
Oh yeah, it has a presence, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely plays into the legend. So, Veronika, I've got to ask you, what was it like working with Brandon again? This is your second book you've worked with him since Giju's Gift, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I think we communicated a bit more when we worked on the first book, but yeah, it was good.
Is it because you've got this sort of conversation going already? You know how each other works? Is that pretty much
Yeah.
why it's
Yeah, I
easier?
think it was easier because this was just a continuation of the first story, so I kind of like knew the characters and yeah, I didn't need as much, I guess, guidance with this one.
On top of that, too, though, like I wouldn't say it was weird, but yeah, it was like it was almost. I don't want to say we were siloed, but when I wrote the script, I trusted her big time. And in the beginning, when there was specific references that I wanted to include, like I gave all the resources that she would need to, like our petroglyphs and our hieroglyphs. Like, I front loaded everything that was in the script. And I wouldn't say it was kind of weird, but it was like one of those things where it's like the editor really took charge.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Veronika, did you need more explanation about these various images that Brandon sent along, or would you do your own research on it?
I did kind of both. It was a while ago, so I don't remember it that well. But yeah, I definitely did some research. And when I was confused, I would usually email the editor and then we communicated like that.
Can you talk a little bit about the tools used to create your book? What sort of tools do you use? I presume you're a digital artist.
Yeah, I used Photoshop. For the sketches, I'd use just pencil and paper because it just feels easier to do like rough drawings like that. But for the pencils, lines, and color, I used Photoshop.
And did you work from a script that Brandon sent along? Is that how it worked out?
Yeah, they sent me a script and all the pages and panels were already planned out. So it was pretty straightforward for me.
Not too much back and forth on this book.
hmm
Cool. So, Brandon, I've got to ask you then. I mean, this is the second book. Will there be more books in the future, as I hint?
Yeah. Fingers crossed. I hope so. Like, I do have another story in the chamber ready to go. We're hoping, like, we're waiting to see how this one performs. Hopefully, it merits the third story. And that was the thing, too. Like Veronika said, like, it's been so long. We were working on this story as Giju's gift came out. And then, yeah, like, things that were out of our control, like in terms of like scheduling for release. I'm just happy that it's coming out and doing what we can to spread the good word.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I've got to ask you then, do you have ideas for promotion, or will you be on the road or going into schools even to promote the book?
It's all on your shoulders. We're relying heavily on you.
No, my goodness.
I've been doing the powwow trail here in New Brunswick in the Atlantic provinces. I've been building pretty steady following of readers. And, like last year I was handing out promotional items like postcards and stuff like that. Like part two's coming. This year I'm excited to go back on the trail and promote the book that way. I really like the grassroots approach I've taken with this. It's how I've done a lot of my books. And I'm really happy with how that's turned out. I am going to a few schools as well here in the Maritimes. I also do work with Connected North, and I'll be doing what I can to spread the word that way. And just seeing where it takes me.
That's pretty cool, especially when you're interacting with young readers. Well, what sort of reaction do you get when you're introducing these legends and tales to them? Are they amazed? That's something I presume they've never heard before, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it varies. When I'm in my territory, when I'm here in the East Coast, like I have a wide range of people that are just like, oh yeah, like I saw Boogladamooge, I saw Little People. And, some of them like, that's what I saw. Or they'll give me their description of what they saw. And with the little kids, they're like, are they real? Like, where did you see it? Like, so it's kind of like one of those things where elders, the stories that I write bring elders and youth together to help expand on our culture.
Very good. Well, now I've got to ask, because we've been talking about the search for Gluscap, what's next for each of you? Maybe, Veronika, you could tell me about what you're going to do next. What's your next project?
Currently, I'm working on a tattoo portfolio, kind of shifting into a different area of art. And I'm also doing a podcast with my sister, and where we talk about paranormal stuff and we make art while we talk.
I presume that your work that you've done in illustration will help you tremendously when you're putting your portfolio together.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. How about you, Brandon? What's next for you that you can talk about?
Oh, geez, it's never a dull moment on my end. I freelance a lot, so I do take on like various design projects. I do have a book coming out with Nimbus Publishing. I think they're coming out in the same month. This one's an Indigenous story on skating or hockey, women in sports. And I had a lot of fun working on that project. I am collaborating with some cool previous clients on some other picture book projects. I'm excited for that. And I just wrapped up an animation project. The client was the University of Alberta, and I'll be sharing that by the time this gets released.
Lots on the go. How about events? I know that we're all gearing up for summer, warmer weather, and people are getting out to festivals, conventions, that sort of thing. Any plans to attend any of those in the future?
For me, I'm hoping to. I haven't applied yet for Montreal Comic Con, but I'm going to do that. And the same thing for Ottawa. We used to live in Ottawa, so to go back there, it's a little bit of a homecoming for me. And then to share what I've done with the people over there. A lot of the things I'm going to be doing is going to be on the Power Trail, though. Like, I love being on the trail, setting up as a vendor, and really, connecting with young readers.
How about you, Veronika? Any plans to attend any festivals or conventions this year?
I don't think I'm going to participate in the Comic-Con, but I might just go to check it out and see what's happening.
Absolutely. Always a good way to network with people and see what's coming up down the road. So with everything going on today and in the future, where do you recommend that people go online to find you? And Brandon, I'll ask you to go first.
Yeah, I mean, you can check out my work on birchbarkcomics.com or on Instagram at writer Brandon Mitchell. Oh, I forgot to mention also, I'm going to be at East Coast Comic Con here in Moncton, New Brunswick. And I'm really happy and really proud to be part of the lineup. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And how about you, Veronika? Where can people find you online?
Well, you can check out my art on my Insta at Nika's Illustrations. And if you're interested in the podcast, it's on YouTube and it's called Baba Yaga's Crib.
Very good. Well, those are all the questions I have, but I'm wondering, is there something I didn't ask that you'd like to get across in this interview?
Like I said, for me, I want readers to have fun with the story. I had a lot of fun writing the story, and I was super proud and super happy with how Veronika took the script and brought it to life. Her illustration work is amazing, and
Thank you.
It was a great collaboration. Again, it was one of those things where I blindly trusted her. I was not, and I'll never be disappointed.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was great working on this book, and I'm excited for the next one if it's going to happen. I really hope so, because I think this series needs a third book.
Thanks to Brandon and Veronika for the chat. You can discover more about Brandon Mitchell online at birchbarkcomics.com and on Instagram at writer Brandon Mitchell. You can discover more about Veronika Barinova on Instagram at Nikas Illustrations. That's NIKAS _illustrations. You can discover more about the search for Gluscap on HighWater Press. And thank you for tuning in to the True North Country Comics podcast. I invite you to visit the True North Country Comics website to listen to even more conversations with creators about making comic books and graphic novels. You can follow along True North Country Comics on most social media platforms, and you can send any and all feedback to John at TrueNorthCountryComics.com. Thanks for tuning in, and come back soon for another episode. Bye for now. True North Country Comics Podcast is copyright True North Country Comics, copyright 2026.